Sister Wives actress Janelle Brown's strong personality has continued to inspire a lot of people. She complained that Kody had divided the Coyote Pass unfairly and that she had to employ attorneys to correct the situation. According to current reports, the Browns eventually sold the entire land and Janelle finally received her share of the parcel. It is anticipated to be the primary topic of season 19's second installment. However, it appears that since selling the land, Janelle has already made great strides toward her ideal house. See her fascinating post by reading on Sister Wives. The Coyote Pass was sold by the Browns. The Coyote Pass property was recently sold by the Brown family for more than $1 million. According to reports, Robin was the final member of the Sister Wives family to not sign off on the sale of the land, which was approved by the majority of them in January. According to sources, four family members made $680,000 when they sold the land for $1,500,000. Since she sold her package to Kody for $10 after they split up, Christine will not participate in the division. Since Mary Janelle and Christine departed the family, Kody's ideal of strengthening his family's bond has come to an end. However, the three ex-wives have prospered in life. Since splitting from Kody, Janelle even declared that the house of her dreams is at last becoming a reality. Details of Janelle's dream home will soon be available. Janelle Brown posted a video from her recently staked land in North Carolina on social media. This is the first step before constructing a home. The Sister Wives star claims that the construction of her home is finally underway and should begin shortly. Additionally, she anticipates having the house finished before the holidays. Many admirers applauded Janelle's recent milestone. Janelle said that she will be residing across Maddie and Caleb's land and that she will have a big covered front and back porch. She added, "Bring on evenings in a porch swing with required screens in the summer for bugs, lol." When Janelle finally built her own house after years of renting, some people also became emotional. "We can see that you and Christine are sitting on the porch with the grandchildren. It sounds like a fantastic spin-off show." Wink and face, grandchildren gardens and porches, creating the greatest life possible. Read art raising hands. "You ex deserve this more than anyone else. I adore it indeed. It is essential to have a screened-in porch or Carolina room, as we call it in the South. Very well earned, cherry blossom, cherry blossom, cherry blossom, Janelle. Congratulations, a tiny bit of heaven all your own. I'm really glad for you. It's even more ideal because it's across from Maddie, Caleb, and the grandchildren. Sparkling heart tulip wilted, flower sunflower, a home on the land. Finally reaching the point you're going to be developing must feel incredible. Janelle, congratulations. Read art Janelle Brown. One of the sister wives has been busy. Earlier this month, Janelle Brown made hints about her big home renovation. She posted a video of her last haul in Flagstaff. The Sister Wives star claims that although she has been organizing the last haul, the relocation has been put on hold due to a number of occasions and other activities involving her children. "I was awaiting a window of time and whether to bring this final load," she added. This past week was the week because of the family wedding in Salt Lake City last week and the necessity to pick up some items from Hunter's apartment in Vegas. Grinning face Mary Brown's shocking revelation on why the tell-all host was fired from Sister Wives after revealing that she would be returning for an unexpected interview with Tamron Hall. Sister Wives star Mary Brown has been in the news. The 54-year-old intends to go all out to reveal the most sinister secrets of Robin and Kody. Despite all of her devotion to the two, throughout the years she felt deceived by them. In addition, Tamron is well known for hosting the Brown family's tell-all show in the past, but Sakanya Suki Krishnan eventually took her place. However, Mary will also discuss her termination in her next interview with Tamron. To view the preview clip, continue reading. How is Mary Brown doing today? Sister wives, since formally releasing herself from Kody, the legal equivalent of a divorce, Mary has been living a fulfilling life. The Brown family reportedly sold the entire property after the Sister Wives actress reportedly received her fair part of the Coyote Pass. Mary had been traveling with her pals up to this point. She has also been quite busy renovating her Utah bed and breakfast. Mary offers clothes online as well. In the past few months, she has taken part in a number of events. However, when Mary disclosed that she was working on an episode with Tamron Hall, many were taken aback. Mary reveals the hidden reason for Tamron's termination. Mary Brown posted a video from her next show with Tamron Hall on social media. The two talked about how glad they are to see one another once. More Mary also talked about how emotional she is and how long she had wanted to speak with Tamron. Tamron went on to admit that she was upset by her dismissal as the host of the Brown family's tell-all show. Mary added that she feels a strong bond with Tamron and that she doesn't have any problems with her. When Tamron asked Inest whether she was holding the other women responsible for what transpired, the sister, women actress nodded. She added that some family members found it difficult to accept Tamron's accountability during reunion programs. Seeing Mary and Tamron together again made many fans happy as well. During the reunions, it was evident that Robin and Kody were angry with her, which is absurd. Seeing Mary today makes me very happy. Good job, Mary. What a rock star you are. Strong, wise, and incredibly charming. Tamron's just as clapping hands. Best tell all hosts ever. The only person capable of managing Kody was her. Her hosting of the tell-alls was fantastic. Sister wives Robin and Mary Brown discussed their relationship. Another excerpt from Mary's interview with Tamron Hall, in which she was questioned about her relationships with the other spouses, was also shared, but Mary's attention was on Robin, the fourth wife. The Sister Wives actress claims that Tamron is correct when she suggests that Robin hasn't been in a healthy relationship with Kody. By frequently getting in the way of their romance, Mary did disclose, though, that they only speak when necessary. Mary Brown also acknowledged that it was far more difficult to get a legal divorce from Kody after they had a spiritual divorce. As she processed their spiritual divorce, she added, "It was quite simple for her to declare, 'I'm out.'" Additionally, she advised viewers to keep watching their show because some surprises might yet occur. In the Brown family's multiple marriages, Sister Wives star Janelle Brown was a subdued yet powerful figure for many years. Janelle was the steady one, the one who worked organized accounts and made an effort to maintain order in the midst of the chaos, while others experienced emotional highs and lows. However, beneath her tenacity was a recurring yearning, a need for justice, independence, and a place she could call her own. Now, after lying dormant for far too long, that dream is starting to materialize. A new chapter in Janelle Brown's life for Janelle Brown. This has been a season of change. She has embarked on a road of reclamation of her time, her voice, and most concretely, her land. Since she and her longtime spiritual partner Kody Brown parted ways, Janelle recently announced that the building of her ideal home in North Carolina is set to start in a heartfelt yet joyous social media post. "My property was just state." She announced this while showcasing to her admirers video of the surveyed land where her future house would be constructed, not simply in terms of bricks and beams, but also of justice, independence, and long-sought ideals. The moment represented victory. How did Coyote Pass turn out? We must go back to Coyote Pass, a major character in Sister Wives mythology, and a site of conflict, broken promises, treachery, and unfulfilled hopes. In order to fully appreciate the significance of this milestone, Coyote Pass was meant to stand for harmony. The Browns purchased the property together with the goal of constructing residences next to each other in Flagstaff, Arizona. Physically and emotionally uniting his family was Kody's desire, but it never came to pass. Rather, it turned into a literal and metaphorical battlefield over resources, trust, and the future. Janelle believed in that dream more than anyone. Having even eagerly set up her RV on the land, she gave the idea hope in addition to money. However, it became evident that Coyote Pass would not be the place of promise she had envisioned as the seasons changed and relationships deteriorated, particularly Kody's relationship with Janelle. The tipping point, the land disagreement sharpened Janelle's long-standing feelings of undervaluation toward Kody Robin. His only surviving wife had taken up the majority of Kody's attention and resources, despite her financial contributions and pragmatic outlook. According to reports, Kody had put a stop to the land's development, postponing building, while claiming that the family was unsure. Behind the scenes, however, control, miscommunication, and partiality were more insidious. Janelle was impatient and didn't wait patiently. Determining to get what was rightly hers, she hired a lawyer. Her legal action was motivated by necessity rather than retaliation. She made the decision to focus on herself after years of investing in a plural family concept that no longer worked for her. She also struggled official sale of Coyote Pass. Justice obtained reliable sources claim that Coyote Pass has been sold out. The cost, a cool $1.5 million, a profit of more than $680,000. According to reports, 4 family members approved the sale decision, with Robin being the last to sign off. This was a full circle experience. For a lot of admirers, for a symbolic $10, Christine, who had long ago distanced herself from the family, sold her parcel to Kody. This was more than simply a money transaction. It was a reprieve from the suffering the land symbolized. Mary Janelle and others can now at last go on. For Janelle, this is the start of something completely new, even though it signifies the conclusion of a challenging chapter in the Brown family's history, moving from Arizona to the Carolinas. Janelle's new life. Janelle set her sights on North Carolina after gaining the wealth from Coyote Pass and shedding the emotional burden of previous betrayals. It's a new heritage, not just a new zip code. On the opposite side of her daughter Maddie's and son-in-law Caleb's property, her ideal home is currently under construction. A large covered front porch and back porch, she said affectionately. Bring on afternoons spent swinging on the porch with the necessary bug screens in the summer. Of course, warmth and a sense of community are evoked by the images. The RV is no longer isolated. The uncertainty of waiting for Kody to take the initiative is gone. Stability is present here. Come at home, a location for future generations. It's not just Janelle who lives in her new house. For her grandchildren, that is. It is for the purpose of healing. It is a haven where love is unconditional and reciprocal. Her announcement caused fans to become emotional grandchildren gardens and porches, creating the greatest life possible. One fan wrote, "Janelle, congratulations." Another said, "Your own little piece of paradise." The relocation signifies more than just Kody's physical separation. It also signifies her emotional detachment from the dysfunction that formerly characterized her life. This is real-time generational healing, not just a house. Even though Janelle's home is still being built, her spiritual and emotional home is already firmly established. Her transformation from silent suffering to empowered decision-making has become her an inspiration to women worldwide since the split. She has been candid about her hardships, which include overcoming heartbreak and unstable finances. She has also commemorated significant occasions, such as the debut of her health company, attending her children's life events, and re-establishing contact with her extended family. She is demonstrating with each step that beginning anew is something to embrace rather than something to be afraid of. The weight of leaving on an emotional level Flagstaff was difficult to leave. Janelle posted video of her last haul earlier this month, showing her packing up her belongings to start the next phase of her life, referencing a wedding in Salt Lake City and a trip to see her son Hunter in Las Vegas. She openly described how family commitments had caused her move to be delayed. Nevertheless, she found a way to brave the weather and bid farewell to the land that never loved her as much as she loved it. Fans felt a mixture of calm strength and closure as they saw her load up that last trailer. She was tired of waiting. It was time to start building now. Season 19 Coyote Pass's Aftermath. Coyote Pass is anticipated to be one of the main topics in the second half of Sister Wives Season 19 as it progresses. The decision to sell who opposed it and how each family member handled the result will probably be visible to viewers. For Janelle, life is more important than screen time. Millions of women can identify with her experience of giving waiting, compromising, and ultimately leaving in her fight for land justice and personal dignity. In addition to logistics, the season will probably delve into emotion and what it was like to let go of a dream that never involved her in the first place. However, Janelle's narrative is far from over, if the last several months are any guide. In fact, it's just getting good. What will happen to Janelle next? Janelle has made it clear that she still has dreams. Inspired by her daughter Maddie's homestead lifestyle, she intends to engage in gardening and probably even farming once the house is finished, presumably by the holidays. She's also not cut off to love, but she's in no rush. Building a calm, grounded existence full of genuineness and familial ties is her main goal, and she isn't waiting for someone else to agree with her choices for the first time in a long time. Now let's hear Janelle's story, her territory, her house, her legacy. Conclusion: The Healing Blueprint. The tale of Janelle Brown and her ideal home is about creating a life after tragedy, not simply about contracts or building. It's about realizing that recovery is possible with the correct porch swing time and support. No more Coyote Pass. The weight of past promises, the anguish and the memories have all been auctioned off. Like dashed hopes, something much more powerful. A lady who wouldn't accept anything less stands in their place. Janelle Brown is now the architect of her own story, not merely a character in Sister Wives when the first beams are installed. And the foundation is placed in the Carolina soil. A wave of change, closure, and a move toward fresh independence have accompanied the latest chapter in the long-running story of a once unified multiple family. Viewers started to feel that the narrative arc was coming to a natural conclusion as the plots developed in the most recent episode of the family-oriented series. Once signifying unity, the resolution of a long-standing land entanglement now means individual emancipation, and the series' pace seems to be slowing to a deliberate, possibly final halt. The complex relationships of a guy who had spiritually united with multiple women, forming a sizable interconnected household based on multiple beliefs, were followed by viewers over many seasons. Over time, this seemingly harmonious arrangement started to fall apart. An emotional and practical rift began as his relationships fell apart, particularly when he parted ways with three of his long-term partners. Over time, what started out as a tale of group power has evolved into one of individual growth. Over the years, a sizable plot of land that the family shared a plot of land they had wanted to use to create their futures became one of the most emotionally and symbolically fraught challenges. Instead, this property came to symbolize abandoned ideals and unsolved grudges, as aspirations for cohabitation waned, caught in the crossfire of individual conflicts, changing agendas, and lingering resentments. Its future was uncertain, but at last, things changed. On that site, two of the women who had previously dreamed of building houses next to each other made the decision to part with what no longer served them. After years of emotional and legal stalemate, their portions of the property were ultimately released. It was a proclamation of independence as much as a financial decision. One of these women who had always come across as sensible and frugal with money had experienced more than just romantic heartbreak. She was now bound to a future she no longer believed in by her land investments, which had turned into an anchor. She found herself at a crossroads, both emotionally and financially, as her spiritual union started to fall apart during a time of unpredictability in the world. She had invested everything she had in a common dream, and she was afraid of what would happen to her if she left her counterpart, a lady who had long looked for identity and purpose outside of her marriage, likewise came to a turning point. She had opted for a more sedate lifestyle, relocating to an area where she could concentrate on her own endeavors and the history of her family's hospitality business. She had less serious financial entanglements, but they were just as symbolic. She was leaving a place that had so many unfulfilled promises. Thus, her departure from the land was not just pragmatic but also very emotional. The two women worked together to negotiate a complex web of issues. The procedure of relinquishing the land was surrounded by whispers and rumors. Some thought that forces were attempting to stop the advancement using deceptive tactics to postpone or dissuade their choices, but persistence won out. Now that the financial and legal obstacles had been removed, they could move on to the next stage of their life without any worries. For one of them, this next stage required a complete dedication to financial knowledge, personal well-being, and assisting others in discovering their own value. Her endeavors demonstrated a dedication to empowerment, storytelling, and healing. She was released from the emotional entanglements that came with belonging to a broken collective. In addition to property taxes and legal duties, when she sold her interest in the land re-energized by her freedom, the other woman started to investigate what true independence meant. Finding her voice in a field where it had long been marginalized was more important than simply leaving a failing union. She started to envision her future without the need for compromise. The land that had previously bound her to uncertainty was no longer a concern as her desires took precedence. Their ex-husband had progressively withdrawn into a more subdued public persona. Nevertheless, in a committed partnership with the lone remaining partner, the multiple framework he previously supported had vanished, and so had his hopes of a vast communal estate. His authority appears to be decreasing despite the fact that his participation in the land drama is still controversial. Many people think he made things complicated in order to maintain control. A constellation of autonomous lives now resembles the tightly bound family structure of the past. The former family members are no longer bound by any shared assets as a result of this resolution. It is impossible to exaggerate the significance of this. This was about legacy commitment and letting go, not simply about land. Each member is now free to follow their own path, and their individual storylines are more distinct than ever.